If you grew up watching the Osmonds on TV, you thought they were squeaky clean, right? Well, Marie Osmond just dropped a bombshell about Andy Gibb that will change the way you remember the 70s forever. Marie Osmond. For decades, she's been America's golden girl, smiling on stage, dazzling on TV, and charming audiences everywhere. But behind that perfect image is a story filled with broken marriages, second chances, and one man who left her feeling both electrified and destroyed. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Marie's life, the career highs, the painful lows, and the startling truth she finally revealed at 65. Hey, if you're enjoying this trip down memory lane, don't forget to click subscribe. It's completely free, and this way you won't miss any of our next stories from the stars you grew up with. Imagine growing up in a house where music wasn't just a hobby, it was the law. That was Marie Osmond's childhood. Born in 1959 in the quiet city of Ogden, Utah, Marie didn't just have 8 siblings. She had 8 competitors, each of them talented, each of them hungry for the spotlight. Her father, George Osmond, ran the family like a boot camp. He was strict, disciplined, and expected nothing less than perfection. Her mother, Olive, was the softer touch. A singer herself, she poured her heart into raising children who could perform as if their lives depended on it. And in a way, they did. While other kids in Utah were riding bikes and climbing trees, Marie was rehearsing under hot lights, learning harmonies before she could even spell the word. By the time she was 3 years old, she was pushed onto the Andy Williams show, a national stage. And here's the crazy part. Instead of freezing, little Marie lit up the screen. That sweet, angelic face, that crystal clear voice, it wasn't just talent, it was destiny. But let's be real. What looks like a golden childhood on the outside often hides a darker truth. Imagine the pressure of being told, at 3 years old, that millions of people were watching you and you couldn't mess up. From day one, Marie Osmond's life was never normal. It was a show, and she was the star, whether she liked it or not. Transition. But Marie wasn't just going to be her family's side act. She was about to break away, and when she did, the entire world would be watching. If you think Marie Osmond only belonged in front of a microphone, think again. By the 1990s, she was dominating TV screens across America, not as a singer, but as the host of her own talk show. The show, simply called Marie, was lighthearted on the surface. Celebrity interviews, lifestyle tips, fun little moments. But here's what made it different. Marie wasn't afraid to get personal. She had this uncanny ability to make her guests spill secrets. People tuned in not just for entertainment, but for the chance that something raw and unscripted might slip out. And while she played the sweet, caring host, behind the scenes, Marie was fighting battles of her own. Failed marriages, family struggles, personal heartbreak. The irony? She was comforting guests on camera while hiding her own pain off camera. That duality made audiences love her even more because deep down they sensed she wasn't just polished, she was real. Then came her leap to Broadway, and this is where things got juicy. Most people assumed Marie couldn't handle the brutal world of live theater. But when she stepped on stage as Maria in The Sound of Music, she shocked critics who thought she'd crumble. Instead, she delivered a performance so heartfelt that even the harshest reviewers had to admit Marie wasn't just a pop star, she was a performer. And when she took on Anna in The King and I, the whispers started again. Could Marie, America's wholesome darling, really play a strong-willed woman tangled in a forbidden connection with a king? She did more than play it. She owned it. Critics raved. Audiences adored her. And for the first time, Marie showed she could tap into something deeper, something more dangerous than her good girl image. Transition. But while Marie was winning standing ovations on stage, her personal life was spiraling into a storyline even Broadway couldn't script. Because love, betrayal, and second chances were about to take center stage. For most celebrities, love stories play out like fairy tales, at least on the covers of magazines. But for Marie Osmond, love was messy, complicated, and full of twists that no Hollywood writer could invent. Her first marriage, in 1982 was to basketball player Stephen Craig. On the outside, it looked like the perfect union, America's sweetheart marrying her college sweetheart. But behind the glossy wedding photos, the cracks formed fast. Marie was juggling superstardom, TV appearances, and an exhausting touring schedule, while Stephen wanted a quieter life. By 1985, just 3 years later, they were divorced, leaving Marie with a baby son and a broken dream. But Marie didn't give up on love. Just 1 year later, in 1986, she married music producer Brian Blosill. This time, the wedding was bigger, the promises louder, and the expectations even higher. Over the next 2 decades, Marie and Brian raised a huge family, 2 biological kids and 5 adopted children. To the public, she looked like the ultimate supermom, balancing a career, 8 kids, and the smiling Osmond legacy. But privately, things weren't so perfect. The marriage was strained by career demands, endless rumors, and the pressure of keeping up appearances. And in 2007, after more than 20 years together, Marie and Brian called it quits. In their joint statement, they insisted there was no scandal, just 2 people growing apart. But fans didn't buy it. Whispers of fights, jealousy, and emotional distance spread quickly. People wondered, how much heartbreak could Marie endure? Then came the twist no one saw coming. In 2011, Marie remarried her first husband, Stephen Craig. Yes, the man she divorced in the 80s was suddenly back in her life, and in true Marie fashion, she shocked everyone by wearing the exact same wedding dress from their first marriage. Some called it romantic, others called it bizarre, but one thing was clear: Marie was rewriting her love story on her own terms. Transition. But even with all the drama of her marriages, nothing compared to the emotional roller coaster she experienced with one man, a man she confessed she hated more than anyone, and yet couldn't stop loving. Marie Osmond's life has been filled with triumphs, heartbreaks, and reinventions, but it's her candor, the way she finally admitted the impossible truth about Andy Gibb, that shows who she really is. Not just America's sweetheart, but a woman who has loved, lost, hated, and survived. And maybe that's what makes her story so powerful. It's not perfect, it's human.